Okay, hello and welcome to Just Like Me. I am here with BJ today. BJ from Australia, Brisbane, but you're kind of in the process of moving houses from Brisbane. You're not hearing me now? Oh, internet is
There's a lot of freezing going on.
Oh, okay. Is it better now?
Yeah, a little bit. It's a bit, like the mannequin thing they do. It's a bit like that.
Okay, so I was saying you live in Brisbane, but you're in the process of moving.
That's it. Over the next couple of years, I'm actually in Maleny, so that's the view over there, and way on that hill over there is a dairy farm.
Yes, so you guys.
It's not ours.
Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, okay. I said, way over there, see that hill over there? At the top of that hill, there's some buildings, and that's a dairy farm. So we're right next to a dairy farm, and all the cows come right down to the fence, right down next to my window. So it's beautiful.
I know, it's so idyllic every time. There's always cows there. And do you guys call it Happy Cow, or the farm is actually called Happy Cow?
No, we call our place Happy Cow.
Oh, you call your place Happy Cow.
Yeah. Because I'm a bit of a cow, but I'm very happy.
I think that's great.
Very grateful. And surprisingly, as you know, Melissa, the cow's pose is not my favourite.
Yeah, weird, right? Yeah, I do know that.
But we'll talk about that more later. I won't jump the gun.
Well, yeah, we will. We won't jump the gun because I always like to ask the question about how you came to yoga first. What was the doorway in, and how you started? And I like to hear the first class story always.
Okay. All right. Well, I started because I rolled over in bed and literally just rolled over in bed, and my whole body, my lower back seized. And over the years, I have had trouble with my lower back. I've got 3 children, and all those problems sort of started after I gave birth, and with each consecutive child, my lower back started to compress, and I was just managing it. But when it happened, when I started, I found you online. I was literally lying in bed going, what am I going to do? I just was staring at the ceiling, and my husband was away, and I'd, literally have to be rolled over to go to the toilet. And so I went online, and your name came up first. So there you go. It works, doesn't it, Melissa?
Yeah.
Whatever you do to get it to the top.
Save me from my back pain.
Back pain. Dr. Melissa West. Top of the list. So whatever Tim's doing, it's working.
That's
getting
good.
it to the top. Anyway, so I went, okay. And so I started looking at the classes, and I loved it because, it was very restorative.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the only thing that was going to work for me when I was lying in bed. I couldn't, be perched with my legs up in the air. I mean, luckily I stumbled upon classes that really suited me, that were restorative of nature, and I just started searching around. And then I was able to get up out of bed and go and have acupuncture. And then I was determined that I thought I was washed up, really. I just thought, it was very frightening. I mean, anybody that's had back pain or any kind of pain that debilitates you, it's very frightening because you just don't know if it's going to get better or whether it's insidious and you're going to have to have an operation or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I did it every single day, and really committed myself to the process of doing the classes. This is before I became a member.
Mm-hmm.
And then I my children went and bought me a yoga mat. and that was a big deal for Mother's Day, and some blocks, not those cork ones that we were just...
Tim just nearly really hurt himself on the cork blocks.
Yeah.
The corks have caused 2 injuries today so far.
Have they?
Yeah.
They'll have to be kicked somewhere clever. And I've just got those, I don't know what they're made out of. Are they like little foam ones?
Yeah,
or
the foam
something?
ones, yeah.
Yeah, foam. And a strap, they bought me a strap. And before that I think there's a picture of me there doing Happy Babies pose. I was so happy.
Yeah.
Finally.
I'm gonna show you.
And that was before I had, you know, the mat and the
You could do that pose when your back was this is before.
No, this is as I was moving along.
Okay.
As I was moving along, I had finally had a smile on my face. I didn't have a mat, I only had a rug.
Yeah. But
And
that works, right?
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah.
This is what I
This
did.
is like my preferred way of practicing, actually. I only take the rug off when I stand up now. I like a little rug under my back, and it's comfy, right?
Yeah, very comfy. So I was really happy that I was able to just to do positions like that, because, you know, for me, when you look at the lower back there and my bottom, it was like it was easing the vertebrae out. And so I did a lot of those classes where I was easing, the pockets between my vertebrae out, because it was to do with compression. You know, I don't know what happened that I did it in bed, but it was just in that circumstance that it happened. But I do notice that because I do a lot of this when I write, and I've got to be careful that I have to be aligned. So I noticed
sitting, it's just like so detrimental, right? And it's sitting for a long period of time too, right?
Yeah. And that compression happens again. So that's basically how I got into it. But, you know, the journey goes on, of course.
And then from there, I think it was that summer you did the beginner series, right?
Yes.
So it was fairly soon after you did 31 days of yoga, beginner. I think
it came in the May, and then it was in May, June, July. Might have been August, September that I did it.
Well, we usually run it in August, so it would have been in August. So that was fairly soon after. And when I remember, that was like a big unfolding for you.
Yeah, it was huge. It was huge. I've even got notes about that.
Hey, tell me.
Well, it was an unfolding because, it gave me a chance to really connect with those basics again. I'd done yoga before, years ago. Not so long ago. I actually wanted to get fit to go skiing because, you know, we don't see the snow here. So for us going in the tropics. And so going skiing was a really big deal for us. We've done it about 3 or 4 times now, but we have to go a long way. When we do it, we have to go to Japan, or we have to go to Europe, or we have been to Victoria, where they do have the snow. So we've been lucky enough that we've had the opportunity to be able to go and do that. But I really trained up each time through yoga, through hot yoga, and lubricated my joints. And I was very mindful of getting back on track because I have rheumatoid arthritis as well. Mm-hmm. But I'm able to manage it really well. And so when I went away, all the young people were getting terrible injuries, and my husband and I, who'd trained, you know, all the time, never got any injuries, any aches, anything because of yoga. So for me, going back to the basics, it just took me to another level, because the way that you explained it and the way that you hold the classes and the different talk that you give, the way that you explain the movements, the way that I was able to align myself. I didn't know a lot of the terms for the yogic poses. I was shown poses that I'd never done before. And there was nothing in the beginner's poses that I couldn't do. I could do all of them. It didn't mean that it wasn't challenging, but I could do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the interesting thing. I mean, I remember one summer, and I think I talk about this fairly often, but it doesn't mean that not everybody's heard it. But one summer, it was just kind of the way the scheduling worked out. The only class I could go to was a beginner class with my teacher in Toronto. And it was a really hard class to do because mentally it was difficult to be in that space and go back to basics and be really present with the poses. It's I think beginners classes are very good for people who have experience to go back and do, because it allows you to open up on a very different level, mindfully.
Oh, incredibly mindfully. And that was the other thing that happened to me. I felt that I felt empowered because one, I had this physical issue that had come up in my life and I was having to address it. And I had to practice discipline to get on the mat every single day because I was forced to. If I didn't do it, then it could have been, a disaster for me physically, having a family, being in my own body, being, in a state of trauma, I suppose. And so I was forced to be disciplined. That discipline didn't just work on that level. That discipline worked mentally for me as well. Mm-hmm. It was like I accessed a part of my mental capacity of showing up, being present, being on the mat, doing it diligently, being present moment by moment. And it was and I know it sounds like a really big shift, but it was a huge shift for me, was that it wasn't just the physical, it wasn't just the mental, it was like I cracked open in that month. And it was, now that I'm learning more about the koshas, and all the different levels that it works on, it was like it worked on every level for me, because I felt like that I opened emotionally as well, because often, you hear that, the emotions are tied in with your physical. So there was a reason that my body was packing up on me. And so I was able to release a lot of emotion. There were lots of poses where I just find myself crying. Because of the release. And it gave me the opportunity with that, and I just allowed myself to go through the process for that month. And it's a really good setup too, Melissa, isn't it? Because what it does is that I don't want to give it up now.
Yeah. Well, and I think also it's a good process in that we've thought through very carefully the order.
Yes.
It's a gradual process, and it leads you through in a way that makes sense too. It's not, it's not like bam, you're in, you get taken through in a way that makes sense.
Yeah, it's certainly not random. It's very, very well thought out.
Yeah, it's well thought out. Yeah. But that being said, it's also incredibly powerful. And as you said, you had a profound experience physically, mentally. I seem to recall you got ill too. Did you not get ill? Or was that somebody else? Like, was it not? Maybe it was somebody else. Like, usually.
Oh, no, I did get ill. I did. I had to get my, oh, God, I've gone blank. I had to get something removed, didn't I? I had to go to hospital.
Yeah.
My gallbladder.
Right.
I had to have my gallbladder removed. And then I thought, and it was really interesting too, when you do the connective tissue stuff, the stuff on your feet, when I had my gallbladder removed, and I'm sure that it was all part of, the exercise was shifting it and getting rid of the toxics in my body and, etc. When I had my gallbladder removed, for years, my feet had been swollen and I'd had knots in them. When I had my gallbladder removed, all that went. Not a knot, not a swollen, nothing.
Wow, that's crazy.
It was crazy. I remember sending you pictures from the hospital going.
I know, I was freaking out. I mean, it's a little, it's frightening when your students go through these like really traumatic experiences, right? Like surgery, I had a student once that miscarried, a student that was,
Oh, that's sad.
yeah, and that was really, and like, and they're in your yoga class and you think, good God,
Mm. But it's not to do with you, it's to
no,
do with their process.
right. Yeah. It's, these things, it's like when students go through a divorce, when they're going through their personal things, like, okay, so when you go through a yoga practice and you're going through it in a big way and you're unfolding your own process, if the marriage is unstable already, then it's going to fall apart, right? But it's not me that's making it fall apart, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with health issues, like, it may be that doing the yoga kind of
well, it brings it to the surface.
Yes, it brings it to the surface.
It's not working. It's healing. That's healing.
Yeah.
Because if it stays down there, then it gets worse.
Yeah.
But if it's given the opportunity to release, then you're able to open the channel so that everything can start flowing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I've forgotten that. I don't know how.
I know, that's pretty big, right? I thought I was dying. I was thinking like you were vomiting or something, but yeah, you had surgery, girl.
Yeah, it was pretty full on. Maybe I've just blocked that part out of my brain.
Well, you've had a lot of really great things happen since then. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing things. Well, I also want to say that in that month, my self-confidence grew because, my background is performing, and I really thought that I was basically never going to do it again. And just, the process that we'll talk about as we go along, just opened up all these doors because I kept on turning up on the mat. Mm-hmm. And I believe that it's such a powerful thing. I believe in turn up on the mat.
Yeah.
When you turn up on the mat, if you work on yourself, you're doing a service to everybody. Mm-hmm. Even my son says to me, I can really notice when you're not on the mat, Mum. I can notice. I notice the difference. I notice when you're not meditating, Mum. Thanks for sharing, Jigsy. Maybe you should go and do it. But I take it in.
I know. Can you imagine saying that to them? Would you mind starting a meditation practice, please?
Yeah. Chill pill.
For the love of our family.
Just take a chill, but just chill. Take a chill pill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what else have I got to say about that? Yeah, I've just said, it's just allowed me to open and to access areas of myself that, one, I didn't even know were there for a start, creatively, and that it was a very profound experience for me on so many levels. I've been a member now for 20 months.
So this is interesting to me because you became a member. You were a member. I became
a member after I think I did the...
You were doing the challenge? I don't know. Anyway.
No, May I became a member.
Oh, so you kind of became a member fairly quickly, probably to get access to the back classes and stuff.
Yeah. But also, really, it was because I didn't want to take from you. I didn't want to feel that, that played very strongly in me becoming a member, was that I felt I know what it takes when you invest so much time in teaching. And I thought, this is amazing. This woman is doing an incredible service. I'm going to pay for what she gives me. And I'm going to keep that subscription up because I think that's important. Yeah,
it really helps because that's how we earn our money. So it's very helpful. Yeah. I know sometimes members say, well, I'm not going to be a member anymore because I can access your free classes, but it is very, very much appreciated. The members that do see it as a reciprocal relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very helpful. And the other thing that you were very generous with was, and I want to tie this into your creativity because I have a question around that as well, but was that you were also very helpful. No, that was in July, maybe. I started drawing mandalas, and you said, um, you need to stop being so tight with your art, and I can help you with that.
Don't be so tight, Melissa.
Yeah. You said you need to loosen up.
Loosen up, baby. Yeah. That
And
was
you were great. You filmed some art classes for me, and you asked me to let loose. And I still have the first painting I did for you, with you.
It's funny when you look back though, isn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't throw it out now. I hated it at the time. It was awful to me, but now I love it.
Look where your art has gone now too.
Yeah. Oh my God. We should maybe hold them up side by side by the now. Like my most recent one that I loved to my first one that you helped me do.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious. So I'm curious. You were when I met you. You said it opened up things in you, but you were doing visual art when I met you. Like you were doing collage and painting, watercolor.
Yeah. That's something that just came to me. Did you want me to tell you about that little process?
Yes.
Of how I got into it? Well, basically, when I was 50, I'm 57 now. I found out I had rheumatoid arthritis, which really took, it was very disappointing to me because I thought I had escaped it. It's in the family because the spectrum is apparently between 15 and 50. And on my 50th birthday, I find out that I've got...
Oh my gosh.
My whole body was like this, basically. And so I've been able to really look after myself through, what I eat and, just the way that I think about things. But I went and saw a healer, and a healer did a healing, she did a healing on me, and I felt this movement going through my body when she was healing me. Tuning, right? I had never drawn, only stick figures, right? I'd never drawn anything before. Well, I started going to an art class, and this woman showed me collage, and it was like it was like this portal just opened, and I just started downloading all this incredible goddess art, and as quickly as I did it, it went out the door. People wanted it; they wanted to buy it, and I mean, there was nobody that was more surprised than me. And I keep on doing it. I've done 3 exhibitions. It was just one of those amazing sort of situations, really. I love my art. It actually follows me in every medium that I do.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Do you have any?
And then the mandalas. And I was inspired by the mandalas.
Okay, do you want me to show the ones that you sent me and talk about those? Okay. Let's go back to which one do you want me to show first?
Oh, that red one.
The red one? This one?
No, yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of the first one. That was just sort of like an improvised one. Oh my goodness, but so powerful, Melissa. When I started, I did it from your class, and I thought, okay, I'm going to, what is it that I want to do? And it was funny because it all starts with a seed, and I thought the seed was the outer rim, but it actually wasn't. The seed was the alignment of my koshas, my spirit, my body, my emotions, my energy, blah, blah, blah.
When did you do this one?
I did that, about a year ago.
Okay.
Right.
Had you started, okay,
Yeah.
You tell your story, then you can tell me when you did this.
Right. So I can't, So I thought that's what I've got to have in alignment there. So that's where the picture was drawn. And then I thought what else is important to me is that I have the support and love of my family. So I've got the name of my family around there and what was important to me, that there was gratitude and that there was love and respect. And
this circle here.
That circle there.
Yeah.
Then, and this all kind of free flows when you do it.
Yeah.
And in fact, Jung said that he used to do one every day. He'd do a mandala, yeah.
Mm.
So the next level, I'd started doing sacred circles.
Right.
And I loved it, just loved it. So I came across a song called I'm a Circle. And I couldn't stop singing it. It's actually in my play. I could not stop singing it. I sing it every day. I think it's the I am that is really powerful. And there you are, yoga, healing, and art. That was, that was what was healing me. It was really the yoga and the art was healing me. The song was healing me. And then I drew, stick figures just around people, right, with all the things that I am. I'm a cook. I mean, I can't read it there right now.
I can't really read all of them, but...
Yeah, but...
Okay, so these are all your I am.
All the roles I play. And I just went, oh, my goodness, I'm all these aspects of myself. I'm just really one powerful gal. It was really empowering to see who I am and what I do, and that they're all linked and, in a circle. And I was doing sacred women's circle work. And then the next level was that I wanted to spread the love, and I wanted to cocoon, the world with beloved women, and that we would all be in sacred circle, holding the thread of destiny together and healing and, loving each other and being there for each other. And, that's politically how I'd like to see the world as well. But, it's about, we're all working together. So that was the first one. Then the other one, the next one, did you want to say anything about that one, Melissa?
No, because I that's just like flooring me because I know how this is unfolded. So keep going.
Yeah. So the second one, which is at the top. Yeah. That one there. So this is all on, the site, if people don't know, I mean, I'm sure they've had a look around, is that there's the mandala classes there, and this is what inspired me. So this one is I only did this one quite recently, and I've do a lot of work healing the matriarchal line. This has all just happened since I've been with Melissa. It's amazing. So I've worked on healing the matriarchal line and the ancestral healing of the matriarchal line and the ancestors. And that's what I've been doing. But when I looked, I thought that would be the seed at the centre, but it actually wasn't. So you can see in the middle there that there's a heart and that it's breaking. And actually, when you get closer to it, you can't see there. It's actually, when it's fractured, you can actually see it's glowing. It's got light within it.
Okay.
I put sparkles there. And then, so to me, that represents healing the mother wound, which is something that's been a huge deal in my life. Healing the mother wound, and that I would be supported. And I did that as a representation of the flowers all around me, that it was I love flowers. I would have flowers in my home every day if I could. And there's just something about flowers that I love, and the smell of them, and they make me feel so beautiful and nurtured and loved. And then I moved out to the next level, and it was all about the tree of life, which I talk about a lot in my work, and the tree of life, and that in the womb of the tree of life is the seed. It is the seed of us all. And so it goes out further, and it gives words, there you go, create, let go, create, sustain, let go, transform, rebirth. And I spread that word around a lot now. It is very, very, very profound words, Melissa. And when I do it in my yoga practice, I totally get it. It's just beautiful. And the language that you use and the way that you use the seasons and the earth and nature and the moon and the sun, and you honour all those aspects. This is what has really influenced me as a person as well. So I just went around and I talked.
Because it's in all of us, right? Like that's not something specific to me. It's that's part of all of us. So that's why it comes alive for all of us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's the archetypal story.
Right.
But you put it in, you just weave it into your yoga practice, which is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very creative.
Yeah, I mean, we long for that connection, right? Because so many of us are alienated from, well, you know, in your work you might speak about our mothers, but from nature, from the earth, so to feel that connection again, it's very nurturing.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. And so I can feel that when I do the yoga and the postures as well, that it gives it a deeper understanding, and it just fuels my imagination as well. And so that's what I find so valuable about the classes, is that, you know, every time I feel like I've been on this incredible journey on so many different levels, and you're very good at guiding and facilitating that journey. And so the outer levels, you know, you've got the north, south, east and west, and in north it's the grandmothers. And that just represents, you know, the grandmothers standing on each other's shoulders. And then there's just the east. They're not drawn in any particular order, but you know, that there's the seed, and I want bountiful, beautiful life. And then the moon and the stars and the sun, and again flowers, because I love poppies. And there's something very special about poppies. And then it leads out to the matriarchal line and the healing of it, the ancestors, and they're all linked together by the red thread. So to me, there is deep healing in the mandalas as well. And because I do circle work, it's quite profound. And then there's one last one there, which I actually didn't do, but I'll tell you why I didn't do it.
Okay, go ahead.
But it is about me. I am a circle, I am healing you, comes from the song, but I wrote a play in the last year. I've never written a play before. And that I actually, after writing and doing everything around this, I performed it as well. I couldn't do the brand. I was just exhausted, and I needed somebody else to step in. And funnily enough, somebody came up and that I know that had done a little bit of circle illustration, and I talked to her about the subject matter of the play, and she came up with that perfect mandala for it.
It is perfect. So beautiful.
Yeah. So the bees represent the 9 initiations of a woman, which I go through in the play. The tree is the Yggdrasil, which is the world tree. And it's all about the maiden, the mother and the crone who live in the womb of the Yggdrasil. So the womb there. And they're all the story is all woven together by a thread. And the women, I perform in front of women who hold the rim of the sacred circle. It's for women only. And I wouldn't have been able to do any of this unless it had been for you, Melissa.
Well, I don't know about that.
I tell you, you're a big influence on me. Very grateful.
Oh, that feeling's mutual. I'd be still drawing circles.
With perfect little...
See?
Perfect little...
That was driving you crazy. Well, I need to show your play was incredible. From conception to realization, it was around a year to the first performance.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredibly fast when you think about it, BJ.
Yeah.
I want to show some photos you shared with me of. Is this the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I couldn't stand there and do what I do. I mean, I call it sacred physicalesque theatre, because it is sacred, obviously. But, oh, my goodness, I mean, I don't know how I got to make it so physical. It is so physical. I've had women say to me, you move around in that play like a 15-year-old. Now, I've got to tell you, your 15-year-old, Melissa, may be a little bit different to my 15-year-old. Right. But it is, I even, when I'm out there, I just go, I have what I've got to do. How, because I'm, my background is
theater,
performing and movement and all those things. But I thought, I didn't know if my body would be able to do those sorts of things anymore. So yeah, that was the opening night, which was at a place called the Powerhouse, and I had about nearly 60 women there, and it was amazing. So, from conception to, I've produced it, done everything on my own, and now it's just taking off.
You've had a lot of invitations to perform it.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, I've been asked to. I've just done the Australian, the Goddess Australia conference, which I was a bit nervous about going and doing. I was just invited at the last minute because a woman looked at what I did and thought, oh, look, maybe we should get her to come. So she moved things around so I could come and do it. And I'm very, very grateful to Anik. And I did it. And I was nervous because I do a lot of mythological work. And I thought they'll be the people that be able to say whether I'm on the mark or not on the mark. It's different to having people that support and love you to people that don't know you at all. Well, the response was unbelievable. Afterwards, they all came up and hugged me. It was beautiful, Melissa. And I've travelled to Bundaberg. I'm about to go to South Australia on an amazing adventure next year where I go and perform in my hometown, and which brings up a lot of emotion, but it will be very healing. But this woman is taking me out on a houseboat, way out on a river for 8 hours. And it's going to take us about 3 days in all to get there, to get to this river bend. And then I'll be performing on sacred land for a whole lot of women.
Wow.
As well. And so I've got all these different things lined up, and I'm coming over to America next year. Somebody's invited me over from America, and I'm hoping to visit Melissa, BC.
Yeah, you have an event in Sydney here on the island, don't you?
No, I was just making the approach to somebody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't know there was a place called Sydney.
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought that's where you had the opportunity.
No, I performed in Sydney here.
Oh, okay. That was the Goddess Festival.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, I was confused. I wondered if it was Sydney, Australia.
We've got a Victoria there as well.
I was a bit surprised because Sydney, BC is a bit of a snore.
Oh, is it? It's a bit different to the harbour in Sydney in Australia.
About as opposite as you can imagine. So it wouldn't be your tribe.
No, it may not be. But you never know.
You never know. But it wouldn't be beyond them to hold a goddess festival either, it wouldn't be. So
you never know. I might get a gig there. If I don't, I'll come especially just to visit you and Tim and Tristan. Which would be beautiful.
Yes.
So it's just been having access to all those different videos too that have been really meaningful to me. Doing the like when I was it's good to have a bit of background about what I've done too, because I had to learn a tsunami of text because
to memorize. Were there particular videos, like particular yoga videos that were helpful to you to memorize, do you think?
Yes.
I would like to know that. My memory.
Well, I've got to say the brain yoga, the crossover stuff, that all helps me because at one stage, because I had to take in an hour and 20 minutes of script, which is a lot of words. I mean, and it's very colourful, deep, rich script. And at one stage, I couldn't even remember what the word door was. I'd say, could you slide that thing over so the air can come in, or can you lift up that thing that we put hot water in? I thought I was going mad because there was just so much information, but I did those classes and I just felt like, because I made the commitment to do that crossovers, so that I was going from left brain to right brain. And then everything just settled in.
Yeah, be like a mental reset. Such a good idea when you have, and it doesn't have to be a big deal, right? You can even do, just.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, Melissa. And also, the breath classes were amazing for me. Obviously, I was feeling a bit nervous getting up and performing after such a long time. And I'm actually a speaker mentor, so I work with people all the time on their breath. Breath that I do is different to the yoga breath. The breath that I do is through the mouth. The breath in yoga, as you know, of course, is through the mouth.
Yeah.
So that's been really good for me. And I can tell you that breath of fire, skull shining breath, four-way breath, particularly breath of fire, I can't, after I've done that for, sometimes you do it for 8 minutes, don't you? You've got to start there doing that, doing all of that.
That is a really good one for clearing excess energy. I think, I struggle with anxiety. I was talking about it this morning with the live class. And sometimes with anxiety, we think, okay, we got to chill. But sometimes you got to just like expel that excess energy. And it's a really good way to expel excess energy. It's a good one to raise your energy. But when you're nervous, sitting there and trying to calm down is not really, you've got to like let the steam out of the pot.
That's it. It's like the toxic, it's like
the
energy is trapped. It feels like it's going like this. So how can you possibly, if you're, speaking or, having to work at a high level of performance, how could I possibly have that breath accessible to me if it's my channel is like this? And I have never in my years of breath work been able to address it like this.
And I think there's a difference too, like I think we talk about anxiety a lot, but there's that excitement too, right? Like it's kind of mislabeled, and this is the problem with labeling, but recognizing that like that was excitement, right? It's that excess energy. And I think that's just exactly it, that it just needs to be dispersed so that you can be grounded again.
Yeah, and you can get on with the job and do the job in front of you.
Yeah.
But I also know that if I'm feeling depressed about something or I'm feeling resentful, how we can feel resentful about things.
Yeah.
It's eating me away and I'm feeling a bit toxic because I've got a grudge about somebody that I've been carrying around for way too long.
Yeah.
All those human things that we feel. If I'm feeling anxious or unsettled, bang, it will go. And what's amazing, it does have quite a lasting effect too. Sometimes I notice that it will last for 2 days, that particular breathing exercise for me.
It's good. It's good. It's good to have those different tools in your toolbox, right? To use different breath techniques.
Really, really good.
Yeah. Like the line, like when you're frustrated, that lion's breath, right? That just like, right? Just to like, we're going to get it out there. And
I love lion's breath. And I love the way that we look up there.
Yeah.
And I love the way that you so freely do it in front of the world, Melissa.
Does it show up in your play?
It's very encouraging.
Did it show up in your play at all? Did lion's breath show up in your play? Oh, darn. Did you do lion's breath in your play?
Yes, I do.
See, I knew it.
How did you know? I
Well,
actually do. It's the beast. I call it the beast. I go, and I do this scene where it's called Before the Altar of Her Creativity. And it basically goes that there's a woman and she's painting and she's really pleased with herself. And all of a sudden, from the lowest fathoms of a stinking, slimy, putrid well, a snarling, grovelling beast appears again to defecate from her private hell, right? Which is the thing that comes up in all of us when we start being the inner critic.
right.
That inner critic series blew me away.
Everybody talks about that in their interview.
I love that inner critic series. It inspired this, right? And so it taught, this beast comes up and says, you can't do this. It hissed. Inspiration, it will never happen. And so she has a duel with the beast, and the beast is like that. It keeps on coming up. The beast lurks in the shadows in this play all the
That's
time.
awesome.
Right?
So great.
Going, you're just disgusting. Which is, I really brought it up to the surface. So I actually have a duel with it.
That's fantastic.
Brush out of my hair, and I have a duel. So and I fight this. I call it, the snarling, grovelling beast. And then we have this big duel, and we end up both collapsing after spitting and snarling.
It's awesome.
Fighting each other, and we fall exhausted, after we both battled and we both attacked. Until we're exhausted, we both collapse, and we fall on the ground, and the woman awakes and looks straight into the beast's eyes and sees herself.
Nice.
Right. And she does, the Ho'oponopono,
Oh, beautiful.
Sorry, please forgive me. I love you. And the beast doesn't know what to say.
Right.
It's been ignored, put down as if it was dead.
Right.
And so then she gets up in front of the mirror again, in front of the altar of her creativity, not the mirror, and starts painting again. But she starts to strip away the slimy scales of the beast.
Nice.
And it strips away, and shining, forgotten beauty stands unmasked, and a reminder to to accept ourselves for who we are each day.
So beautiful.
And that came out of the inner critic series.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, that's why I'm so impressed with, real yoga for real people. It'll blow your mind.
You gotta do it.
Really take it, If you take the bull by the horns, you just, it's knocked my socks off with the level of how it's affected me as a creative. I'd never written a play before.
I know, that's amazing. It's really cool how when you open yourself, when you show up on your mat every day, the way that things just unfold for you in your life, right?
Mm. Mm. And I watch you, Melissa, and I watch the progress, in the time that I've been there, with your vlogs, which I love. You've gone a long way since,
I wouldn't even watch my first vlog now. You were great. I forget what you said to me one time.
Filmed that bar.
You're like, don't stay so long on one frame, darling. Like, oh, thanks. That's good advice.
Be honest. You went, yeah, be honest.
It's a little boring. But now it's like,
It's amazing. I love what you're doing. I
wouldn't even look at my first vlog now. Now it's like visual poetry to me. I really think about, like, Tim will be like, aren't you going to film here? I'm like, God, no. There's nothing. It's visually ugly. Yeah, there's no good lighting here. And it's like pavement and gray twigs. No, I'm not filming here. I don't care that we're doing something.
Like in the vlog that you did this week when you had a picture of that incredible tree with all those, the trunk of it, and the roots of it, and the colour of it. Oh, it was just amazing. But there was nothing you could do about those videographers.
But that was entertaining.
Serious. They were cute.
Yeah.
They were very cute. And also, look, you know, I wrote down so much yesterday because there's just so many benefits to, you know, navigating around the site. The tissue practices, balance was really important for me because my balance wasn't the same anymore. So even the woman that was directed me in the show went, "Oh my God, your balance has improved so much."
Have you done any of the New Balance classes yet?
Yeah, I find it very difficult to do that. What is it, Warrior 3? When you have to hold the block down the bottom, that's always a big challenge for me.
The half moon balancing. So you've been doing the vestibular and the...
Yeah, I've been doing that. Yeah. Love it.
It's great stuff, eh?
Fantastic.
Yeah. I'm having a lot of fun with that stuff. So like it feeds into each other, right? You do your yoga, you become more creative. You become more creative, it comes into the yoga, you know? It's like...
But I also find too, what's interesting when you do the different koshas, that actually the whole body benefits, even when you just do one.
Yes, absolutely.
It affects all those layers. And I've also noticed that I don't want to eat as much anymore, and that my body is really terrific. When I went on medication for my rheumatoid, I really blew up because I had to go on methotrexate and Plaquenil, and you have to go on cortisone first so that it allows it to permeate into your system. It takes about a year, so I had a bit of a moon face and all of that. And so I put on weight. I put on a lot of weight, and I wasn't used to it because I'm quite tall, and I could really feel it. It felt sluggish within my system. And now that I've been doing the yoga, I don't feel like that anymore. It's like it sort of dropped off me. And I don't even have to go for, 3-mile hikes along the country lane here. It works in the system.
Yeah.
Just doing that, restorative work.
Yeah, I think the more in touch you are with your body, you just respond to what your body needs, right? So whether that is so I'll speak a little bit from my own experience here. So for the last few years, my body has needed a lot of rest, like a lot of rest. Yeah. And that's what my body's needed. But I'm at a point now in my life where my body's saying, okay, I'm rested now. Thank you. That was great. Now I want to move a little bit more. And that, that goes up and down. But just it's building that relationship with your body where it will tell you what it needs.
Yes.
And then you just listen and respond and do what it needs. So, and to trust that, I think that we get panicked that if our body tells us I need to nap for 3 years, that you think that like you said when at the beginning when you had your back injury, that was it, that's the whole, and that's it for the rest of my life, right? Mm-hmm. But that we can trust our innermost wisdom to guide us to where we need to be, and to follow that. And it sounds simple, and it is, but it's not easy to follow that message every day, to go, if it is every day, to lie down and go have a nap, or if right now you're in a version where you need to be doing restorative yoga, or hey, maybe your body's saying, you know what, you need to get off that couch and be doing sun salutations every day. You need to move. I'm feeling sluggish, but you'll know, and each person is different.
For me, it's my brain, my stinking thinking that can get in the way.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I'll just go and the computer, I'll go and, cook, or, I'll just prepare it and then I'll do it and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Rather than just...
I think that's for the discipline. You spoke about discipline and how the discipline fed you. Like when you made that commitment to do the 31 days of yoga, and how that just open things up for you in your life.
Mm.
There's something really powerful in that. You know, this month, Tim and I made a commitment. So I made a commitment to wear a dress every day in December. Now that sounds like a really silly thing, right? It's, you know, it's not really a big
But it was a
deal.
huge thing.
Pardon?
It's a huge thing because it's what it's representing.
It is, but it's sort of like a fashion thing. But I tell you, going out there and setting up a fashion photo, and so it seems sort of surface level, right?
Yeah.
But we're pulling into our depths every day to compose that photo. What it's done for us personally, as a couple, as a team, creatively making something together each day, we completely changed our social media marketing platform because of it. It's done something for us artistically as a couple. It's made me change, it's, as you say, because of what it represents. It's made me, every day I put on a dress, I think about what I'm representing.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Something as simple as making a commitment, no matter how small. So if it's a commitment that I'm going to show up and do alternate nostril breathing, like Hannah Gilly on our site, she has a lot of health issues, and she made the commitment to show up every night and do the foot connective tissue practice, and it's changed her life. So it doesn't have to be a big thing, is my point. It's the act of showing up for yourself every day that is huge, and it will create a transformation in your life.
Well, I actually put my foot down too with the family, because I go and do it on, when I'm at home in Indooroopilly in Brisbane, I have my room that I do the yoga in. I do it on a big screen. It's like watching a movie. Melissa.
It freaks me out when people show me their big screen TVs with me on it. I'm like, really? That's how you watch it? And then they'll show me it comes through their big speaker.
And they might be watching TV, and I throw open the door and I go, yoga time. And they go, you're being so selfish. I said, yep, I'm being really selfish. Get out. And they don't argue, because like my son said, I'm much better if I do my yoga.
Yeah. And
don't mess with me in my yoga.
And that's all part of it, right? It's part of creating those boundaries and nourishing that sense of self and self-importance, and that's part of the commitment and the discipline. Yes, discipline classes in that beginner series too.
There was discipline classes in that beginner series.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah.
Anything? We've talked for a long time.
Oh, have we? We always do.
Is there anything else you want to share that you've written down that you wanted to make sure you share?
Oh, look, I think I've... No, is there anything else that you want to ask me?
Well, I think one more thing I would like to do, which is I would love for you to go get a piece of your artwork or two, and then I'll go get the first piece that you helped me do, and then I'll go get a recent piece. And
all right, I'll have to go downstairs though, because I'm not.
Well, I have to go to 2 different rooms too. Maybe I can get Tim to splice it.
Okay.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. Can you see that?
Yep. I brought one of your pieces too. This is a piece that you did for me that I have over my altar.
I've got a real soft spot for that one.
Yeah. I love this one. Did you bring more than one?
Yeah, that one's the crone.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
So that's actually got thread. So whenever I do my work, I paint what I'm writing.
Right.
As well. So it's mixed media, that one.
Yeah. Yeah, you can, oh, when you hold it closer, you can really see the thread that pops out. Yeah.
And I've got a soft spot for this one too.
Oh, yeah. So what's this one? Hold it a little bit on an angle forward on the, there. Yeah. Not so much a glare.
That's mixed media too. You can't really see. And because it's got glass there, it's a little bit hard to see. But I do a lot of angels, and I do a lot of women with their hands up in that goddess pose. And I was doing that before I even wrote about the play.
Yeah.
I do goddess pose all the time. So I do a lot bigger ones than that, but because I'm up in the country, a lot of them are down.
Oh, the big ones are in your other home.
Yeah, they're at home.
Okay.
Another place. Which ones have you got there, Melissa?
Well, so I brought the one. This is the one that you helped, the first one that you helped me do. So that was.
It's abstract, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Oh
but
God.
I was just saying, free up, do different things.
Yeah.
Don't think it has to be perfect.
Yeah, and I was really influenced. Pardon?
Has that helped you not to be perfect?
Oh well, yeah, and now I'm really freeing up. I did the life book course, and I can't even stand doing the lessons anymore.
Because you want to free up more.
Yeah, because I want to do my own thing now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at this time I was really influenced by the First Nations art, so I was bringing those elements in. But so this
what are those statues called again? They're on top of each other, and
the totem poles.
Yeah, but there's another one with the rocks. What are they called?
Oh, the Inukshuks.
Yeah, they're amazing. I love them.
Yeah.
They're so interesting.
So this is what I've been doing recently. So it's come a ways.
I can see how you have gone into that style. That really speaks to me. Yeah. That's Melissa. I love it. And isn't using all the different mediums just such fun?
I love using mixed media too. Yeah. And now I'm just dying to get my hands on a sewing machine so I can make my own dresses.
You want to make your own dresses now?
Yeah.
With a machine?
No, I need one. We should close this out and then I'll talk to you. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, thanks.
Everybody.
Thanks for asking me, Melissa. And I love hearing everybody else on the site. And I just wanted to say, Melissa, I am so grateful and I love you.
Aw, thank you. And thanks, BJ. And I'm really glad we got to introduce you to, well, people know you, but I'm glad that you got to speak about your work and how your yoga has influenced your work. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I'm going to stop the recording now.